Hey friends, welcome to the School of Hard Knocks. My name is Darcie and I'm a proud multi-graduate of the school we call life. This is your place to get unstuck from trauma and stuck in your healing. Go grab your favorite drink, get yourself nice and cozy, and let's walk this journey together. Just a quick reminder. This podcast shares personal stories and lived experiences. It's not therapy. It's not counseling or legal advice. If you need professional help, please reach out to a licensed provider. There's one situation and topic that always weighs heavy on my heart, and it is when I see another person in a toxic relationship. Toxic relationships are something that I've seen my entire life. I was raised watching my parents in a toxic relationship. I have got several people that are some of my closest people to me that are in toxic relationships or have been in toxic relationships. And of course, being somebody who's on social media, you see it often. You see the highlight reel of the love and the, wonderful vacations and the shared moments and just incredible, wonderful things where you're like, oh, yay, I'm so happy for them. And then all of a sudden the whole bottom drops out and you uncover things, you hear things, you find things out, and it's so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking to me. And, I know a lot of it for me is because, like I said, I grew up like that. And I knew that for me, there's no way. Eric and I were engaged for 6 years before we actually stood in front of a justice at the peace at the courthouse and got married. For us, getting married wasn't about the pretty dress and the, flowers and the cake and all of that. It was about taking our vows under God, in front of our family, in front of our friends, because after 6 years, we knew that we could make it through everything together because we had already made it through a lot. But Eric knew that I had certain things that there's just no way. The unforgivable things to me. First of all, it was cheating. That to me is just something that I 100% cannot forgive. I cannot allow. I know for me, the disrespect of it is just on such a great scale that I could never forgive him if he cheated. Never. Like, I joke about this all the time, and people around me, if you've known me for a long time, if you're one of my very close friends, or even one of my siblings, or even my daughter, if she's listening to this, I've said, if Eric ever cheated on me, there's no way that I could ever take him back because I know me, and I know that I could never forgive him. I know that I would be on my deathbed as a little old lady saying, you remember that one time in 2002? I know me. And it would be horrible because it would be us being tortured for our whole entire life and living on a false love and living on false promises. And I don't want that for myself, and I don't want that for him. Even if he were to cheat on me and do something horrific, like, love isn't a light switch. It just doesn't get turned off, if that makes sense. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if Eric were to ever put his hands on me. That is a 10 out of 10. No, not ever. Now, I will be very honest that when we were very young, I was 19 when I met Eric and he was 26. And I have talked about the alcoholism that, Eric and I were both very guilty of for the first probably 2 to 3 years of our relationship, where it was just like we were those people. I wasn't old enough to go out yet, but Eric would go out. He would come home. We would drink together. After I was almost 20 when I met Eric. So we had met in August. I turned 20 in November. So it was just a little over a year of him being able to go out without me. But after I turned 21, it was game on. Like, I've talked about this before. I'm very open that, we were out, we were drinking, and I thought that I was a pretty friendly drunk until somebody would say something offensive to, Eric or to my family or something along those lines. And then it was like, nope, I wasn't that person. But There was one occasion in particular that Eric and I had gotten into a physical altercation, and he grabbed me and he had me on the ground and he was slamming me into the ground. And it was about 6 o'clock in the morning. So that should just go. And if you've ever been through alcoholism or you remember back in your party days, like 6 o'clock in the morning was like you're still rocking, right? Like, yeah, the sun's coming up, the birds are chirping, but you're still like on that buzz, like, heck yeah, it's Saturday morning. Let's keep drinking. Let's go to, your local restaurant and get breakfast. Like that was kind of like our weekend thing after I was of age. But I remember that morning in particular because I remember fighting back like a cougar. I mean, there's no possible way that I would ever allow anybody to put their hands on me, and with me just allowing that to happen, just excusing that to happen. No. But it was 6 o'clock in the morning. And even though it was a Saturday, our neighbor across the way was getting up and getting ready for work. And he saw what was happening in the yard and he called 911 and the police showed up. And by the time the police showed up, we were pretty fizzled out because we were basically like untrained UFC fighters grappling on the ground, intoxicated. And Eric wasn't punching me. He wasn't slapping me. He wasn't choking me. He wasn't doing any of that. But he had me by my shirt, by the front of it, and he was slamming me into the ground. Well, when the police rolled up, like I said, by that time we were fizzling out, and Eric was put under arrest. And I'll never forget hearing him saying to the police, "Why am I going to jail? I'm the one with my shirt ripped off and I'm bleeding," because I fought back. And they asked if I want to press charges, and I did say no, but he had to go to jail and he had to spend the night in jail because it was a weekend. And when he came back, I said, never again. We're done. Like that's an absolute game changer. Like, I know that it was a mutual thing and we were fighting each other. Eric's the one who started it, but I'm not okay with that. I grew up watching that my whole entire life and I'm not okay with that. So one and done. One and done. So here's my plight. There's so many women that I'm coming across on social media that are in this, what I call a yo-yo relationship. And I understand what's happening. My brain understands it, but then it doesn't, because I know for me, after growing up and watching it, I can't allow that to happen. But I know, unfortunately, there's a lot of women around me that do allow it. I know there's a lot of women around me that pretend that something's not happening. I know that a lot of women around me are being love bombed. So when I first heard the terminology love bomb, I was like, what is love bombing? Well, love bombing is basically when your partner does something that they know they have to make up for, and they bring the flowers, they bring the apology, they tell you how wonderful you are. You're so beautiful. They'll never do it again. You deserve everything in the world. And I thought that I didn't know what it meant. But thinking back, I actually do remember a few occasions where after my dad would beat my mom, that he would all of a sudden show up with flowers. And it was the most bizarre thing for me because I don't remember that as a child. I remember that more as like a teenager. And I remember seeing my dad come home one morning having flowers, and I thought, that's weird. What did dad do? And there's so many different things that I could talk about when it comes to this, because again, my parents raised a child that has to heal from her childhood. So for me, looking at my dad thinking, man, that's weird. My dad has flowers for my mom. Our daughter and our two granddaughters were just over here 2 days ago. Actually, my best friend was here the night that Eric came home. He ran to the grocery store to get dog food and came home with the most beautiful roses. And typically I don't do roses because they die so quickly, but these were so stunning that I was like, oh my gosh, babe. And I'm so used to that. Everybody, when people ask, what's your favorite flower? What do you say? Email me or drop it in the comments. What's your favorite flower? Because I used to always say a sunflower. I've recently decided that my favorite flower are the flowers that I get for no reason. They're no reason flowers. Those are my favorite. Not because it's an anniversary, not because it's a special day, not because you did something wrong. Okay? My favorite flower is a no reason flower, a just because flower. So love bombing, it's doing things like that, bringing the flowers and the apology and the coming in real strong about how beautiful you are and I'll never do it again. They're going to do it again. They're going to do it again. Just beware of that. And when they do it again and you allow that love bombing to happen, now you have taught them how to treat you by what you allow. Listen, I know that this is a mental thing. I know that your brain literally changes when you are in an abusive relationship like that. I know that it does, but I want you to hear me when I say it's not your fault. You are not deserving of any of this. If you are somebody who is in an abusive relationship, get out. Ask for help. Tell somebody. Because this is going to be the cycle that remains for your whole entire life, even if it's not a total physical abuse. Mental and emotional abuse is excruciating. I remember my dad telling my mom at one point when I think he started to become pretty in tune to the fact that something was different inside of my mom. She was definitely getting closer to finally leaving the marriage after being married for almost 18 years. But I remember him telling her, who's going to want you now with 9 kids? And my mom believed that. She believed it. And then it turned out, I think that maybe now that I'm talking about it, a little bit of what I talk about in the chapter in my book is that my mom ended up rehoming all of my siblings to be with the man who had became her husband because he wasn't interested in being with a woman who had 9 children. Now thinking about it just now, I just had this epiphany of, wow, I bet you what my dad said actually really did play into part of my mom's decision to do that. I think some of it was selfishness, but I think, maybe her being told that is something that stuck in her mind. I'm not sure. But that's the kind of emotional abuse that used to happen, the kind of mental abuse. Who's going to want you? You're unattractive. You've had children or a child. Nobody's going to want to see that. You're not even good at doing this. You don't have. This is what they're going to say. And then when you're like, you know what, I've had enough, then they're going to tell you how beautiful you are and wonderful you are. And they're going to say all of these things to you. And it's a vicious cycle. It is a vicious cycle and it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. And hear me when I say this to you, because I have had somebody say this to me very close to me. What happens if he finally does change for somebody else? Well, hallelujah, amen. That is the one thing that you should hope for. Let him change for somebody else, that he can be a better man for somebody else, because it's not going to be you, friend. You've already taught him how to treat you by what you have allowed. Why would he change for you? Why would he stop doing what he's doing? It's the definition of having your cake and eating it too. I can run amok. I can go out however I want. I can have affairs. I can put hands on her. I can break things. I can do this. And then all I have to do is give her a couple of pats on her butt and tell her how beautiful she is. And I'm so sorry. And she's back in the kitchen making me a sandwich. And now, 3, 4, 5 days from now, I get to do whatever I want to do again. That's how it's going to happen. And I know that if you're deep in the situation, even if you are deep in it, you know it to be true. You know it to be true. Time is a thief. Time is a thief. And the more time that you give to the wrong person, the more pain you're going to feel when you actually do ask for the support, when you actually do leave, when you actually do call it over. The amount of time that is spent investing into the wrong person, the amount of time hoping and praying and wishing for this person to change. If you've already allowed it, if you've already accepted it, they're going to keep doing. whatever it is that they were doing. If your person has cheated on you, and they came out with the, I'm so sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. There was too much alcohol involved. I don't even know what I was doing. It was such a mistake. I was so stressed out about work. Whatever type of reasoning that they're going to give you, when you accept that apology, even if you don't truly accept it, but you continue to stay in the relationship, they're going to cheat again. And when they cheat again and they come back to you and they say, oh my gosh, I just don't even know how that happened again. I'm so sorry. Your job is to say, too bad. We're done with this now. And I'm moving forward. I'm moving on. And if he gets into another relationship or she gets into another relationship and all of a sudden they are cured from being a cheater, well, good. But they're not going to do it for you. They're not going to do it for you. I know that's so hard to hear, but I literally watched this my whole entire life. I've watched very close people go through these things. I'm watching somebody in my life go through it now. They're not going to stop doing the activity that they have started because you've already taught them how to treat you by what it is you have allowed. It's time to take your power back. It is time to love bomb yourself. Stand in front of your mirror and tell yourself, I am beautiful. I am worthy. I deserve to be treated like a princess, like a queen. I deserve somebody faithful, somebody who doesn't put their hands on me, somebody who treats me the way that I want to be treated. Do you want to be treated like that? Do you want somebody putting their hands on you? Do you want to live in fear? Do you want to risk getting STDs, having him have a baby outside of I know people who have had this happen. I literally know people who have had this happen, and I'm telling you, it has always ended in them finally finding the strength to walk away because it never changed. It never changed. It never stopped, and it's never going to. It is time to take your power back. It is time to realize your worth. You are God's child. He does not create people on mistake. You are created in his image. He knows how many hairs you have on your head. He knows everything inside of your heart, everything inside of your soul. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are incredible. You are meant to do incredible, beautiful, wonderful things in this life. Don't even get started on the possibilities if you have children, even if you have grandchildren that are watching these cycles. And then you're going to wonder why they grow up and they repeat the cycle. Not everybody's like me who made a defiant situation that I'm not going to be that one. Some people accept what's going on in their relationship because they watch their parents go through it or they watch people around them that they looked up to go through it. And it's just, well, this is normal. It's not normal. And it's not okay. It is not okay. Don't allow time to be stolen from you for anybody else. Ask for help. Reach out to a local women's community. Reach out to the people that you can trust. Reach out to the people that you know that love you. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to a coworker. There's a 1-800 number that you can reach out to. I wish I knew what it was right off the top of my mind, but it's like 1-800 something safe. Please take care of yourself. So you're not somebody in the newspaper and your friends and your family are reading your obituary because it went too far. It can go too far on accident. I remember my dad pushing my mom one time when she was pregnant with my little brother. And I remember hearing him saying, hey, what are you knocked out? Hey. And he came and he's like, Darce, you got to go and call 911. Your mom's not responding. I'm telling you. He pushed her. She hit her head. She was knocked out while she was pregnant with my brother. Don't be that person. Don't raise your children to have a childhood that they have to heal from. And don't give anybody the time of day to disrespect you in any type of fashion at all. You are a child of God. You are beautiful, incredible, wonderful, amazing. Even if you've been being told that you're not, I'm here to tell you that you are. I'm here to tell you that today is your day. Today is your day to say, yes, I am. And to step into your greatness, to step into your life. It is time to stop surviving and to start living. Take control of your situation. Ask for help. Reach out in any facet that you have to. Email me. Please email me. Everything with me is safe. But we're here. I'm here at the School of Hard Knocks. Ask for the help and you will receive the help. You can be saved. You don't deserve it. You just don't deserve it. Please take care of yourself. I'd like to thank you for sharing your time with me today. And I'm so proud of you for stepping into your healing journey. Please share this with every single person that you know. I'm here to make the biggest impact possible, and I can only do that with you by my side. I hope you hit that follow button and you save me to your library so you never miss an episode. We just took another break out of your wall, and remember, with God, healing is always possible. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.